Hi, my name is Shelley Stern-Grach, and I'd love to welcome you to Civic Chat Networking Our Neighborhoods, available to you at meetadvisors.com. Today my guest is Emilia DiMenco. Emilia is the CEO of the Women's Business Development Center, and we're going to have a great conversation about all the wonderful things the WBDC is doing.
Thank you, Shelley, for giving us this opportunity to share our story.
It's great. So let's start off by sharing with people what the WBDC actually does.
The Women's Business Development Center is an economic development organization, and the impact we have on the community is we create jobs, through creating those jobs, we fuel economic growth, and that leads to stronger communities. Our mission is the economic independence of women through entrepreneurship, and that is what we have focused on for the last 29 years.
That's great. So you say the WBDC has been in Chicago for about 29 years. How many staff do you have?
We have a staff of 32.
32, okay.
We started in Chicago. We certify and provide procurement opportunities as one of our services, not only in the state of Illinois, but we serve 80 other states in that capacity.
So you're really regional, folks.
Yes, we are. We're the upper Midwest.
Okay, that's great. So if I'm a woman and I want to start my business, how do I get in touch with you, and what are you going to do for me?
Well, first of all, it's for men and women. Even though we focus on women, 10% of our clients are male.
Okay, that's good.
And the first thing to do is go to our website, www.wbdc.org, and you will be able to see the array of our services, and they're pretty extensive. We do over 200 workshops a year. We provide one-on-one counseling. We place debt and equity as well as lend directly, and we certify businesses.
Let's talk about certification, because that's a very big thing these days, and obviously with government regulations and financial regulations. Can you talk a little bit more about certification and what you offer?
Well, when you look at the number of companies that are in the United States that are run by women, only 29% of all those companies are women-owned. Okay. But a very small percentage, less than 5%, on average, that of business is awarded to women. So in the mid-90s, an organization was called the Women's Business Enterprise National Council. And what we do, along with 13 other organizations throughout the United States, is we certify that a business is 51% owned, managed, and controlled by a woman. So that corporations and public sector entities that want to focus on distributing their business to everyone in the community, they understand and they have a certificate that tells them this company is truly owned by a woman and run and managed by a woman.
So that makes the woman-owned business more competitive for either grants or corporate investment, things like that.
Absolutely. Now, the business is awarded to someone who has the right quality of service, the right price, and the fact that it's owned by a woman is icing on the cake.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about our neighborhoods and how the WBDC positively impacts the people in our neighborhoods, both women and men, so I was glad to hear that. How many clients do you serve? Where do they come from in Chicago? Just a little bit of kind of general demographics and feeling about that.
So 70% of all the services the WBDC provides occurs in northern Illinois, in the Chicago metropolitan area. We serve about 3,000 women business owners a year. Half of them are startup and emerging, and they come from every neighborhood in the city of Chicago and the surrounding suburbs, with a huge focus on the city of Chicago.
That's fabulous.
The other 1,500 are larger established businesses. They're names that you would recognize based on who is moving your furniture to who is providing product at your local grocery store. So they are big names, and 59% of everyone we serve that's established has revenues over $1 million.
So you really run the gamut. I mean, you are from the nucleus of the idea, the beginning of the economic development, all the way through very sustainable, very large businesses.
Because our focus are women-owned businesses, and because collectively working together, we've done a good job helping these women start and grow their businesses. 29% of all companies are owned by women. We have to provide relevant services when they're thinking of starting it up, when they're emerging, and when they're established businesses. So the services we provide are very different for an established business versus a startup and emerging company. For an established business, it is about certification, it's about procurement opportunities, it's about capacity building. What's capacity building? How do I grow my business? What are my options? What do I need to think about? And problem solving. For startup and emerging, it's a lot of one-on-one counseling, group counseling, workshops. We do
getting my business plan together?
Oh, absolutely. How do I get my first loan? We have, we help raise a debt and equity, but in addition, when we can't find a more traditional path for the woman business owner, we also, as a result of a grant from the City of Chicago and the State of Illinois, we're also able to lend directly.
How do you figure out whether a new emerging entrepreneur has a good idea, that it's going to work? I mean, how do you counsel with them?
So what we emphasize, so the passion comes from the entrepreneur. The idea comes from the entrepreneur. What we do is we help them with the business aspects because that might not be the strength of the entrepreneur. So what we do and what we emphasize is they must do their market research, and we guide them through the resources available. And when they come in, we have a course, a curriculum called Plan for Profit.
Plan for Profit.
Plan for Profit. And there are 20 to 30 that attend that cohort at any point in time. And what they do is they build the business plan together, and a component of it is the market research that they do. And they're sitting in the room with other individuals who are going through the same thing.
So this sounds like almost a mini MBA. What do you charge for this?
It's very, very low cost, but we don't deny anyone service. It's based on ability to pay. We are a nonprofit. We serve everyone in the community.
That's terrific. That's terrific. So I understand that you guys run a wonderful conference once a year. Can you talk to me a little bit about what you've done in the past and what your plans are for this year?
Yes. And thank you for asking. And thank you for asking. Our upcoming annual conference is September 2nd at McCormick Place West. We're very excited. We have always about 2,000 attendees.
2,000,
2,000. It's a whole day event. It isn't, we have a luncheon where we have a wonderful guest speaker. We have not identified our guest speaker yet this year, but soon we'll be announcing.
Pins and needles. We'll have you back as you get closer.
We're very excited. But the whole day consists of networking, workshops, where individuals have the opportunity to listen to bankers who will tell you what they're looking for in a loan, to procurement professionals who are telling you, if you want to do business with them, what's important to them. But there's also a buyer's mart where you have the procurement individuals of over 100 public and private sector entities who are there because they want to do business with women and minorities.
Right, goes back to the certification issue.
Yes, yes. So it's networking with public, private sector leaders. It is networking with other business owners. It's learning through the workshops that take place, and there's usually a wonderful. And I commit to you, there will be a wonderful keynote speaker this year.
That's terrific. And maybe a glass of wine at the end?
Oh, yes, yes. There is a little bit of that at the end, too.
All right, terrific. So let's talk a little bit about technology, because technology is, a thread that runs through just about every business. What do you see as the implications for technology with your entrepreneurs and the people you support?
So we've all become technology companies. Maybe we're not producing the hardware and the software, but we are utilizing technology in how we operate the center, in how we teach, and in what we teach. So our curriculum is transformed. We bring in subject matter experts. We have subject matter experts. When you look at the future of the Women's Business Development Center, there's 4 elements to our future. One has to do with relevancy. We have to make sure, given what the state of women business owners are, that we provide the assistance, the workshops, the counseling that they need. The second component has to do with technology. Again, It's how they utilize that technology to build revenues,
Right.
to operate efficiently,
Right.
and to basically run the best shop that they can.
So really operational efficiency. Things like that.
Operational efficiency. The third element of our strategy has to do with access to capital. You can win all the contracts in the world. If you don't have the capital to fuel that contract, it's not going to. You're not going to be able to build the revenues.
So you must have a whole network with the banks and
Yes,
so forth.
we have great relationships and are supported by all the banks in the major metropolitan area of Chicago. And when they can't do it, we use the grant money from the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois to do as much as we can.
Because it's all about economic development.
Absolutely. The fourth element of our strategy, which is internal, but it does really have to do with technology and being current. It's our ability to change and adapt to everything that's going on around us, and making sure that we develop the talent as well as acquire the talent that we need to serve the women business owners that we serve and the 10% of men that we serve.
That's great. So you've been here almost 30 years. What do you see as the future for the next 30 years?
Well, I hope that the Women's Business Development Center does not exist in 30 years.
So successful, you put yourself out of business.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, maybe sit on a beach somewhere and enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah.
So we have just a couple minutes left. So what are, the top 3 things you want people to remember about the WBDC?
I want them to remember that the Women's Business Development Center is a resource available to them. Not only can they come to the center, but we come to the community. We're working with community partners and making sure that we do as much as we can on outreach. In addition to that, we've built an e-learning library.
Terrific.
And anyone could come to our site and at no cost can take 13 classes that are the 101 classes to starting a business.
Wonderful.
And we offer those classes in English and in Spanish.
Terrific.
So begin with our website, take the online classes, come down to the center, or work with us in the community. Use the WBDC as a resource. That's why we are supported by many corporations, such as Microsoft, and such as the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois, so that we are available and we are a resource, so that people can start their businesses and grow those businesses, because when they succeed, we all succeed.
Absolutely.
And that's how we get stronger communities.
That's terrific. So we've just spent some time with Emilia talking about the Women's Business Development Center. That website again is
www.wbdc.org, and we look forward to you sharing your ideas with us.
Emilia, thank you so much for your time, and we're looking forward to your conference and for the wonderful things you're doing in our neighborhoods.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you.